It'll be Savannah Harwager due up to lead off the top of the second for Marian University, which leads Goshen College by the count of 1-0 here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex after a 26-minute first inning. First pitch of the second from Cummings is up high for ball number 1. As the Knights will have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in their lineup, Harwager, Landis, and Horan due up to start things off in the second. Cummings, the left-handed pitcher, works from the right side of the rubber and delivers a strike on the inside part of the plate. Count runs to a ball and a strike. The schedule makers did not do the Maple Leafs any favors here in the early part of the season. They gave Goshen the top two teams in the conference from last year, Marian and Indiana Wesleyan, to start things off. Indiana Wesleyan will be in here on Friday at 3 o'clock on GoLeafs.net Live. Before Goshen makes its longest road trip of the conference season on Saturday as they go out to Mount Vernon Nazarene. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Harwager, who is batting for the first time today in the top of the second inning. She shows bunt, pulls it back, and look to slap. It takes ball 3 up high. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Strike over the outside part of the plate. 3-2. The payoff pitch on the way from Cummings is dribbled foul. We're going to do this again. Again, it was 37 degrees when we got started today. That was the air temperature with a nice northwest wind making it feel like the upper 20s. Here's the 7th pitch of the at-bat on the way and up high for ball 4 as Harwager draws a walk. That'll bring Lauren Landis to the plate for Marian. She's the left fielder wearing uniform number 23. Landis is a .364 hitter on the season. She's 4 for 11. This at bat number 12. Right-handed batter facing the left-handed pitcher and taking a strike up high for strike 1. The action in the Marian bullpen that we were talking about earlier in the ball game is Emma Maple, the sophomore pitcher from Wheatfield, Indiana, and Kankakee Valley High School. And the 0-1 pitch is bunted foul for strike 2. After Landis bats, it'll be Lainey Horan in the 9 hole to try and get the night lineup moving through. A ball and 2 strikes the count. And Cummings delivers the 4th pitch of the at-bat up high for ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. It is low for ball 3. That's the 40th pitch here in 2 innings of work. Payoff pitch once again, swung on and popped up to second base. Bachtel's in, she'll make the catch as Harwager retreats to first with 1 away here in the top of the second. Lainey Horan, the center fielder, is the last Knight in the batting order to come to the plate. The senior from Franklin Central High School and Indiana State University, left-handed batter and a right-handed thrower, one of 6 of those on the Marian roster. comes up with one away in the top half of inning number 2. First pitch from Cummings is swung on and missed. Catellis from her knees throws to second base, and the ball gets away from right into shallow center field. But Bachtel and Vega backing up the play prevent that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Hoffman is in the on-deck circle, as she'll try to keep the inning alive, barring some type of confusing double play. The 0-2 on the way is swung on and dribbled past third base on the foul side of the bag. No balls and 2 strikes. That one misses outside, 1-2. Marian, I think, is in its traveling navy blue uniforms with white numbers, but the reality is that most of the players we've seen on the field have been wearing their gray sweatshirts over top of the uniform, which, among other things, makes it exceedingly difficult to tell who is whom, because the sweatshirts have no numbers, as the 1-2 pitch is fouled off to the left side. Goshen's in the black uniforms with white numbers and purple stripes now down the side as you look out from our camera to look at a little bit to the left of home plate. Here's another 1-2 pitch coming down the pike. It's swung on and dribbled out in front of the plate. Cummings is off the mound to field it, but Horan's going to beat it out at first base. There wasn't even a throw. And there are runners on the corners with one away. Olivia Hoffman's due up now with 2 on and 1 away. She struck out looking her first time up before the Knights started the parade of 3 straight hits and a fielder's choice, as well as a walk or I guess the walk started this inning, so there's 3 straight hits and a fielder's choice in the top half of the first. Hoffman takes a strike and goes down a ball, or no balls and a strike. Yeah, it's 1-0 Marian, top half of inning number 2. We'll look around the league as we have time to do that. But right now, we're early in game 1. If there were, assuming all of the games in the conference were even played today, we are kind of up against the real field temperature threshold, although we're about as far north as you get in the Crossroads League. Certainly a little bit warmer probably where the Knights left on the west side of Indianapolis than where they are up here in the middle of Elkhart County. No balls and 2 strikes to Hoffman. She swings and dribbles this one back to the circle. Cummings is going to make the throw to third, and they got Harwager coming back to base for the second out of the inning. So it'll go as a 1-5 fielder's choice. Horan moves up to second. Hoffman is safe at first. And there are 2 on with 2 away for Cassidy Cadle. It's Kassidi if you're scoring along at home, her first name. She singled through the shortstop hole in the first inning and came in to score a couple of batters later. First pitch to her here is taken up high for ball 1. Appeal to the base umpire. They say she went around, so it's actually strike 1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Grounded up the third base line. She definitely swung at that one, but the ball rolls foul. And it's 0-2. Cummings gets the signal and comes home with the 0-2 pitch. This one's grounded over to third base, where Landry struggled to keep it in her glove. The throw to first gets away, and the runners are going to take an extra base in the process. It's an infield single and a throwing error, and the second run of the game is thus far is unearned. So we'll pause for a moment as the catcher removes the catcher's paraphernalia and comes to the plate. Shelby Stotts, who's 1 for 1 with a single through the hole on the other side of the infield. As she was left on third as the inning came to a close in the first. Strike on the outside part of the plate to Cadle. And the count's 0-1 here with 2 away. 2-0 game. Top half of inning number 2. Marian out hitting Goshen thus far, 5-0. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's up high. 55 pitches thus far through Cummings, and she hasn't gotten through the second inning yet. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, grounded back up the middle, and that's going to get into center field. Vegas up with it, and the throw to the plate gets through, but sliding in safely is Cadle. It's a 2-run base hit for Stotts, and Marian leads 4-0. So make it 6 hits for Marian as time is called, and we are going to get discussion of the State of the Union on the pitching slab. As head coach Julia Claire Plasbert is out there along with Cotellis and Cummings. And now we're going to bring the infield together at second base and reprise the same conversation. Again, a reminder that we'll be here on Friday as number 11 Indiana Wesleyan comes to town. That game starts at 3 o'clock at the same time as the baseball series with Huntington. It's softball on GoLeafs.net/live with baseball on GoLeafs.net/live too. Got to break out the alternate live stream when there are multiple games in progress simultaneously, but we will have both of them for you here this weekend. Then on Saturday, the softball team heads to Mount Vernon Nazarene, and getting that game on the air is the Cougars' problem. A baseball game will be on GoLeafs.net live on whatever day comes after Friday. I believe it's called Saturday. Here's the first pitch to Hoyt. She ducks out of the way on the inside part of the plate. She singled up the middle to drive in the first run of the game, and to be honest, if she gets a hold of one here, she could break it wide open. It's 4-0 in the top of the second. Here's the 1-0 on the way to Hoyt. It's a strike at the top of the zone. 1-1. Time's called as Cummings steps off the mound and Hoyt steps out of the batter's box. I'm honestly starting to get the sense that we might have a length issue with this game because daylight saving time, well, it's a ground ball to second. Bachtel's going to field it and go to first, and I'll tell that story in the bottom of the second. Marian scores 3 times on 3 hits, and through an inning and a half, it's Knights 4, Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. Mackenzie Vega, Jessica Bachtel, and Stacy Landry lead off the second inning for the Maple Leafs of Goshen College, who trail Marian University by the count of 4-0 here in the middle of inning number 2. Mackenzie Vega is coming to the plate for the first time today, with Marian about a time and a half through its lineup thus far, but Goshen just brought the 4 batters to the plate in the bottom half of the first. Vega is a senior outfielder from Henderson, Nevada. Like most of the population in Nevada, it's near Las Vegas. She went to Rancho High School, and she takes ball 1 up and out right here. Vega this season is a 207 hitter. She's 6 for 29. Now she calls time and moves some things around in the batter's box. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a strike. And the count is 1-1. Point that I was starting to make before the top of the inning closed is that while we did get daylight saving time coming into effect last weekend, giving us an extra hour in the evenings, it's still an overcast day, and in the first half of March, we probably aren't going to be able to play much past 7:15, maybe 7:30. As the doubleheader started a little on the late side, and we've taken 44 minutes thus far to play fewer than 2 innings. Here's the 2-1 on the way to Vegas. Swung on and dribbled up the first base line. Into field it is Hewitt, and she will tag the runner herself for the first out of the inning. Jessica Bachtel comes to the plate. Bachtel is a .234 hitter this year, 11 for 47. Scored 3 runs, driven in 5. She's going to have to do one to do the other here with nobody on base. Right-handed batter facing the right-handed Heron. And the first pitch to Bachtel goes by for strike 1. The night lineup, if you're following along, has a Horan in center and a Heron on the mound, which is a little bit confusing. And there are no fewer than 6 players whose last names start with H on the field for the Knights at the moment. First pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, is up high for a ball. It's Landis in left, Cadel in second, and Stotts behind the plate. Other than that, it's Horan, Hoffman, Hoyt, Harwager, Hewitt, and Heron on the field. The 1-1 pitch is forthcoming, and Bachtel dribbles it foul back to the left side. Counts 1-2. Goshen, meanwhile, does not have a player whose last name starts with H on the roster. Anybody bang on trash cans? Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Bachtel takes it outside. It's spring training. I can care less who got the win. 2-2, the count to Bachtel, and here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt for ball 3. We'll take a look around the league and tell you that Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon Nazarene don't have the live stats turned on, neither do Bethel and Grace. And the count is full. Bachtel, a right-handed hitter with an open stance, holds the bat up above her head. Now here's the payoff pitch, grounded to short, taken by Harwager, and the throw over to first retires the batter for the second out of the inning. So it's 6 up and 5 down for the Maple Leafs. Stacy Landry will step in, the third baseman out of the state of Louisiana, Lafayette and Bossier Parish Community College. It's, again, a matchup of right-handed hitters. Landry wearing uniform number 9, as you may be able to see in the large type on the back of her uniform. First pitch to Landry is fouled back at the catcher, and the count is 0-1. Landry at .256 this year. After the 3 400 hitters, she's the second leading hitter on the team. All of them have 11 hits. They just have different numbers of at-bats. She's got 2 doubles and 4 RBI among those 11 hits, and just fouled one off the instep of Stotts' left foot as the count goes 0-2. So 0-2 is the count. Landry the hitter, Heron the hurler. And here's the 0-2 pitch. It's up high for ball one. It does not look like Marian can add to their H total. All 6 of their last names that start with H are already in the starting lineup. They've got a couple of G's and a couple of W's, Gherkin, Glenn, Wiry, and Wilson, all on the bench, and this is not Scrabble. The pitch to Landry is grounded through the hole on the left side of the infield. It's Goshen's first hit of the afternoon as Landry's on base, and that'll bring Espinoza to the plate in the 8 hole. The left fielder comes up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. As the sun pokes its head through the clouds for the first time this afternoon, Espinoza is a .268 hitter with an 11 for 41 record as she takes up high for ball one. If Espinoza keeps the inning alive, Boyer would follow. And here is the pitch to Espinoza. It is low. 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Low and in ball 3. And the Leafs are 1 pitch away from bringing Boyer to the plate with 2 runners on base. Haven's in the circle. Her 46th pitch of the game is on the way. It's a strike. Inside part of the plate up by the letters. And the count is 0-1. Or 3-1, excuse me. Again, this is just the first of a doubleheader, so when this game concludes, we'll be back here about half an hour later for Game 2. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to get it started a little sooner than that as the ground ball goes to the shortstop. Harwager throws across the diamond to get Espinoza, and the inning is over. So Goshen gets a 2-out single and leaves that runner aboard. We go to the 3rd inning on Go Leafs Live. It's Marian 3, Goshen nothing. Sadie Ball will lead things off for Marian here in the top half of the 3rd inning. The Knights leading Goshen by the count of 4-0 here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex, where it'll be Baugh, Hewitt, and Harwager due up for the Knights. Ball reached on a fielder's choice her first time up. It will be very hard to reprise that feat here with nobody on base, and she takes ball 1, pitch number 60, high from Goshen hurler Emily Cummings. Cummings comes home now with the 1-0 pitch. It, too, is up high for ball number 2. Corner infielders are in. The middle infielders back for Ball, who takes a strike at the letters here, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball, again, a .310 hitter, 9 for 29 this year with a double. That's her only extra base hit. And the 2-1 on the way from Cummings is low and inside ball 3. the 3-1 on the way is inside for ball 4, and the Knights have the leadoff batter aboard. That'll bring first baseman Katie Hewitt to the plate. Hewitt struck out swinging her first time up. And steps in, I think the first Marian batter of the game, wearing her actual uniform top rather than a sweatshirt in the batter's box. First pitch to Hewitt is foul tipped. Looked like he caught the knee of Catellis, but she's up quickly and on her way out to discuss things with Cummings. It either means she got crossed up and doesn't want to be left vulnerable again, or she's trying to run off the pitch that she just took off of one of the joints in her anatomy. So she's back behind the plate. Umpire puts his mask on, and Hewitt's ready for the 0-1 pitch. Cummings has the sign. Now she comes home, and the pitch is swung on and grounded, chopped foul over Catellis' shoulder. 0-2. Savannah Harwager will follow Hewitt, and Lauren Landis and Lainey Horan would round out the second time through the Marian lineup. The pitch to Hewitt is swung on and hit down the line into right, but it tails foul over into the corner where Boyer will go fetch it as the count stays 0-2. Fourth pitch of the at-bat on the way. And the delivery is dribbled foul the other way, this time over toward third. You got to keep it behind the white line, or between the white lines, and Marian has done a good job of driving up Cummings' pitch count by not doing that. Counted 11 foul balls with any number of strikes in the count in the first inning. About 8 of those were with 2 strikes. Now 4 consecutive foul balls here from Hewitt. And the 0-2 is up high for ball 1. Four runs on 6 hits, no errors, 3 left on base for Marian. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for the Maple Leafs. As Cummings comes home with the 1-2 and misses high ball 2. So with the count at 2-2, there's swinging a ground ball, foul past third. For Marian, it was 1 run on 3 hits in the first inning, then 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk in the second. The lone base runner so far here in the third, Baugh, reached base on the free pass. So the count is 2-2 as Cummings comes back to the pitching rubber. She stands on it with her left heel and her right toe, and now comes home with the 2-2 pitch at the letters strike 3 called. So there's 1 out, and Baugh stays at first as Savannah Harwager comes to the plate looking to reach base for the second time after a walk in leading off the second inning. Double play still in order up the middle as the first pitch to Harwager is a called strike. The home plate umpire says she went. So I guess he called strike, but it's a swinging strike, not a called strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming in a moment. It is dribbled foul over toward the first base dugout. Catellis picks it up on the turf strip that goes over to the door on the home plate end. And quickly, Cummings is up, no balls and 2 strikes. She's done a good job of getting those first 2 strikes on hitters today, although the third strike has been a bit harder to come by. I say that, though. I think she's got 3 strikeouts out of 7 outs thus far. But she's also given up 6 hits and 2 walks as Harwager goes around, and she's retired on strike 3. So make it 4 punch-outs for Cummings through 2 2/3. as Lauren Landis, the left fielder, which is alliterative but does not involve the letter H, comes to the plate. Landis pops out to second, her first time up. That was in the second inning. Now she bats here in the top of the third, trying to extend Marian's 4-0 lead. First pitch on the way from Cummings is swung on and grounded foul and was right at where the Marian pitcher warms up in that bullpen down the right field line, but there's a fence in the way, which is exactly why there's a fence in the way. So 0-1 is the count to Landis. Right-handed batting left fielder. Here's the 0-1, swung on, dribbled out in front of the plate. She runs over the top of the softball, and the pitch is going to be called dead by the base umpire. She's going to say that time was called before the pitch was thrown? Or no, they're going to say the ball was foul because it hit her in the batter's box. So 0-2 is the count. And that one bounces in. Catellis up quickly and prepares to throw to first, but she doesn't. So the 70th pitch, or the 79th pitch, of the game coming from Cummings here with a 1-2 count in the top of the third. It's just high ball 2. Landis from Anderson, Indiana, and Pendleton Heights High School. Playing her college ball right in the middle of the state now. And the 2-2 is on the way from Cummings. Swung on and grounded over to second. Bachtel's got it, makes the short throw to first. And the inning is over. So it's no runs on no hits for Marian in the top of the third. They leave a runner on after a walk. And through 2.5, it's Knights 4, Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. Catherine Boyer leads off the bottom of inning number 3 for the Maple Leafs of Goshen College. They trail Marian University 4-0 here on a chilly Tuesday afternoon at the start of the Crossroads League regular season. Boyer, the right fielder today from Edwards Air Force Base, California, transferred in from the University of Jamestown and is now in her third season in Maple Leaf purple, white, and, well, today black. And she takes the first pitch of the at-bat on the inside corner for strike number 1. It's Boyer's 27th at-bat of the season, as she, in the 9-hole, is the last Maple Leaf to face Heron for the first time today. Second pitch is on the way, and the 0-1 is swung on and dribbled back up the middle. Heron's got it, and the throw goes to first for the first out of the inning. So 2 pitches produce 1 out, and Edith Vega will step in, the center fielder. This Vega from Chula Vista, California, and Bonita Vista High School. The left-handed batter faces the right-handed throwing Heron, and the pitch is fouled off to the left side. Some solid contact, but right size, wrong shape. Is there a train stopped behind us? I think there is, judging by the amount of noise I have heard. So the count's 0-1 to Vega. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat. That one's a ball. And it's 1-1. Aaron is set and comes home. It's her 52nd pitch of the afternoon, and it's low and away for ball number 2. It's taken us an hour and 4 minutes to play not quite 3 innings. 2-1 is the count. As Vega comes back to the rubber, and the 2-1 pitch is on the way. Swung on and lined out into left field, where it's going to short hop into the glove of Landis. Vega's on with Goshen's second hit, and it brings up Catellis, really starting the meat of the Maple Leaf order. You really think of that as 3, 4, and 5, but they've got the 400 hitters in 2, 3, and 4, and Catellis is one of them after grounding out to third her first time up. Certainly got home run power, although does anybody really have home run power when it's 37 degrees with a crosswind? Although, as I say that, the wind's died down pretty substantially. Catellis with a wide base at the bottom of her stance takes a strike on the outside half, and it's no balls, 1 strike. The Michigan native awaits the second pitch of the at-bat. It is inside, I think, for ball number 2. Challenge of a press box that's on the third base side of the plate is it's really hard to read how far inside or outside the pitch is. I can tell the height just fine. You've got a great angle for deciding if the batter swung. But it's an adventure. 1-1 the count to Catellis, and she swings and grounds that one over toward the dugout. Her own dugout, I mean, not the Marian one. 1-2 now the count. Cummings in the on-deck circle. Rodriguez would follow her. Rodriguez right now is the tying run. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Catellis, swung on and poked in the air to right field. Coming in a couple of steps, moving over to the line, is Hoffman. She makes the catch about 5 feet inside the foul line. And there are 2 outs now in the bottom half of inning number 3. That brings Cummings to the plate. The pitcher from Ararat, North Carolina. Struck out looking her first time, so she has yet to make contact on this field this year. No, all summer long was Kid Rock. 1-0 the count as the first pitch to Cummings miss outside. Yep. 1-0 misses outside. It's 2-0. Heron's ready, and here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Strike on the outside corner as Cummings started to swing and thought better of it, and, well, it was a strike anyway. Maple Leafs trailing 4-0, but the reality is they've got 5 innings left. It's not like this game's out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. The 2-1 on the way to Cummings is well outside for ball 3. And with Heron having thrown 61 pitches through fewer than 3 innings, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can get her out of there and try their luck against, well, somebody else. Here's the payoff pitch on the way from the righty Heron. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. The throw down to second short hops in, and Vega steals second base, but there are 2 outs in the inning. And, You know what? I just lost track of what the count was. It's 3-2. All right. Inauspicious beginnings up here. It's the first game of the season for all of us. The 3-2 on the way to Cummings is swung on and fouled off to the left side. I think it would be hard to. It's certainly within hitting range, but I think it's hard to hit it that hard in that direction. Yeah. 3-2, the count now to Cummings, and the actual 3-2 pitch this side is low and outside for ball 4. So Cummings on first, Vega's on second, Rodriguez is up, and with the new batter, it is definitively no balls and no strikes. Rodriguez grounded out to second, her first time up. A base hit scores 1, a double may well score 2 right here. 4-0 in the bottom of the third. Marian out in front as they are wont to be. And the right-handed Rodriguez waits on the right-handed Heron. First pitch of the at-bat on the way. Swung on and grounded into the mitt of a diving Cadle at second base. She saved at least 1 run and probably 2. So Goshen gets a hit and a walk, but leaves 2 runners on base in the bottom of the third. And we go to the fourth. It's Knights 4, Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. Laney Horan leads things off for Marian as the Maple Leafs will try to hold Marian at the 4-0 deficit they currently have here in the top half of inning number 4. You're listening to Goshen College Softball on Go Leafs Live as we are about an hour and 10 minutes into the home portion of the season. Marian with 1 in the first, 3 in the second, no runs for either team in the third. They've out-hit the Maple Leafs 6-2, and the first pitch to Horan is a bunt dropped in front of the plate. Catellis out quickly and throws her out at first. And there is 1 away. The story of the game thus far for Marian has really been their ability to work counts and put the ball in play. They've got 6 hits and a couple of walks, and they've forced Cummings to throw 81 pitches through 3 1/3 innings. The left-hander comes home and paints the outside corner for strike 1 to Hoffman, who is the first batter of the third cycle through the lineup. She struck out looking in the first, hit into a fielder's choice in the second, and did not bat in the third. The Knights sent 6 players to the plate in the first inning and 7 in the second. Second pitch, the at-bats lined out into right field. Over to glove it on 2 bounces is Boyer, and the Knights have a runner on with 1 away. So they've had 7 hits now to Goshen's 2. And Cassidy Cadle, the second baseman, comes to the plate. Cadle's 2 for 2 with 2 runs. She's singled to the left side both times. The first pitch to Cadle swung on and fouled back toward the Maple Leaf volleyball team, which is the men's volleyball team, occupying probably a dozen seats back behind the plate. 0-1 is the count. Again, Hoffman, the runner at first. Cadle at the plate, and the 0-1 is grounded to third. Laundry backhands and throws to first for the second out of the inning. Good job by Landry to pounce on that ball before it was able to spin foul. And they were quickly 2 away. So now Shelby Stotts will come to the plate. Wearing uniform number 5, she's the catcher this afternoon. With that yellow bow at the back of her helmet. Somebody in the stands, we can hear, points out that her shoes are kind of dirty, but, well, aren't everybody's? Strike at the letters, regardless of the condition of Stotts' shoes. Makes it 0-1. She's 2 for 2 today, singled through the hole at second in the first inning, and then singled back up the middle in the second. I think that single in the middle, up the middle in the second, if memory serves, drove in the 2 RBIs there as the Knights doubled their lead from 2-0 to 4-0. The 0-1 was outside, and the count is 1-1. Problem with going from indoor sports to outdoor sports is that it's much harder to get an atmosphere at an outdoor sporting event because there's not walls and a roof holding the noise in. And that's your acoustic philosophy lesson for the day. 1-2, the count to Stotts, who has yet to swing in this plate appearance. And the 1-2 is fouled off onto the practice soccer field. Cummings is ready. The 1-2 comes plateward. It is just high, I thought. The umpire disagrees and calls her out. So Cummings gets through the inning on 9 pitches, and the Knights do not score in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We are halfway home, and it's Marian 4, Goshen nothing on Go Leafs Live. Vega, Bachtel, and Landry are due up here in the bottom of the 4th for the Maple Leafs of Goshen College, who trail Marian University 4-0 moving into the second half of each team's Crossroads League opener. Vega, the designated player, grounded out to first in, I believe, leading off the 4th inning. And her second at bat of the game will start with a swing and a pop-up. Coming in to field it is Cadle. She's going to make a basket catch as she careens onto the mound. And 1 pitch gets 1 out. Jessica Bachtel grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. She's 0 for 1 this afternoon. The Maple Leafs with 2 hits in 10 at-bats and 14 plate appearances thus far. I'm not really sure what's going on the field right now, but Heron is not on the rubber yet. And the first pitch to Bachtel is on the way. It's a strike. Jess from Chula Vista, California, one of a couple of players from that neck of the woods, and played at Otay Ranch High School. Now the 0-1 pitch to her is up high for ball one as the sun comes out, which is something they get a whole lot more of in California than we do in Indiana. Now the sun goes back behind a cloud again. But at least there were patches of blue up overhead as Bachtel takes a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher, and ground ball up the first base line where it is taken by Hewitt, who takes 2 steps back and steps on the bat. So the Maple Leafs have put bat on ball twice, but they haven't gotten it out of the infield either time. And Landry is going to come to the plate and try to change that. In fact, I think the Maple Leafs have only gotten it out of the infield once in 4 innings. No, twice. Landry singled through the hole at short her first time up. That was in the 2nd inning. Right-handed batter faces right-handed pitcher and takes delivery at the neck for ball number 1. Heron just across the 70 pitch mark through 4 innings. Of course, we're scheduled for 7 in a regulation softball game. We can run roll if one team is up by 8 after 5 innings. So the Maple Leafs, of course, are trying to score 12 runs in the next couple of innings here so they can end this one in the 5th. I mean, they'd settle for 1, but 1 is a stepping stone on the way to whatever comes next, be it 2 or 12 or 20. 2 balls and no strikes to Landry. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Strike on the inside corner down around the knees, and the count is 2-1. Fourth pitch of the at-bat is on the way, and it is taken on the opposite side of the strike zone for strike 2. Landry hasn't moved the bat off her shoulder, and she's got a 2-2 count. Back foot barely in the box on the backside as she waits for the 5th pitch of this at-bat, which is up high, ball 3. Heron up to the 75 pitch plateau. So she'll be averaging at best 19 pitches an inning through 4 frames. Now here's the payoff pitch from the right-hander. Swung on and popped up the third base line. It's going to fall foul just behind third base. None of Landis, Harwager, and Hoyt were able to get there, and if that had been a couple of feet to the right, it would have been a single. Alas, it was not, and so it is not. Three and 2 remains the count. And another payoff pitch is swung on and dribbled foul at basically a 180-degree angle to where that one went, straight down the left field foul line, but toward the first base dugout. Plate umpire is out in front of the plate, brushing the dirt off of the 5-sided rubber slab. Now he steps back away, and we can resume playing softball. Now the third payoff pitch of the at-bat is on the way, and Landry swings and lines that one out into right center field. It is on the ground and rolling into right center, where it's picked up by Hoffman, and Landry is on with her 2nd single of the afternoon. So that brings Espinosa to the plate. She's 0 for 1, as the Maple Leafs have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Espinosa bats with her left foot well out in front of the plate. She grounded out to short in the 2nd inning. She'll try to keep the inning alive for Boyer here, and she takes ball 1 up high. The count of ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Espinosa. Swung on and hit out into left field. Coming in and making the play in short left center is Landis, and the Maple Leafs leave a fifth runner on base this afternoon. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one left. To the fifth we go. It's Marian 4, Goshen nothing on Go Leafs Live. O.C. Hoyt will lead off the top of inning number 5 for the Knights of Marian University. They lead Goshen by the count of 4-0 here in each team's Crossroads League opener. Hoyt is 1 for 2 today with a single up the middle and a ground ball to second. And she will look for a second hit here in her third at bat. The first pitch on the way from Emily Cummings is in the dirt and outside for ball number 1. So we roll across the bottom of the hour, the game an hour and 25 minutes old. And game 2 will come our way about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, after this game ends. I have to think that with the threat of darkness and with it being cold enough that you don't want to spend more time outside than you have to, we'll err on the short side of time between games. Hoyt fouled that one out into the Marian dugout, where it rolled underneath the row of tires that are used to hold down the tarp when it's on the field. And the count is a ball and a strike. Cummings in the circle, comes home with the 1-1 pitch. Partial swing. They're going to check with the umpire on first base, and he says that Hoyt didn't go. It's 2-1. Following Hoyt, Baugh and Hewitt will follow here in the top half of the fifth, and the 2-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. Of course, if you're looking for something to do between games, Goshen Student Athlete Advisory Committee is doing some work over at Culver's on the south side of Goshen, not the one going up on the north side. A portion of the proceeds at Culver's from 5 to 8 this evening will be donated to the SAC. So you might be able to get there after the game ends, but you've got a better chance of hitting that window if you go to Culver's in between games and take us along on your phone or other smart device. 3-2, the count to Hoyt, who takes a strike on the inside corner for the first out of the inning. That will bring Sadie Baugh to the plate, the designated player. Baugh out of Fortville, Indiana, and Mount Vernon High School. Went to Lincoln Trail Junior College, now in her second season at Marian. Takes the first pitch as a strike at the letters. Dawns on me that I think Mount Vernon High School was also the alma mater of Sarah Adams, who was the center on Goshen's first national championship qualifying women's basketball team back in 2004. I believe she just played basketball and didn't see action on the softball field here. The second pitch is up high, and I think it got Baugh in the shoulder, so she reaches base on the hit by pitch and will stop telling stories about Fortville. That'll bring Katie Hewitt to the plate. The first baseman is 0 for 2, halfway to the Golden Sombrero this afternoon. She is struck out swinging and struck out looking. And here is the first pitch to Hewitt, down low for ball number 1. The next delivery from Cummings will be pitch number 100 with 1 out in the top of the 5th. We've seen her get, I want to say, to 137, 138 on the pitch counter this year, as the pitch to Hewitt is outside for ball number 2. If it were 10 degrees warmer, it would be a whole lot more pleasant to sit at this softball game, but we started this game at 37 degrees. And the latest observation from the folks, we'll deal with the National Weather Service in a second. The 2-1 is inside. It's still 37 degrees at 4 o'clock, but the wind chill's up to 30. Now, here's the 2-1 pitch. It's swung on and grounded foul past third into left field. It'll be a base hit for Hewitt, who's on for the first time today. And ball moves up to second. Brings Savannah Harwager to the plate, and time is called. And I think Scott Fleming, who is in about his 19th season coaching the Marian women, is going to go to the dugout for a pinch runner. Serena Glenn would be my guess, but we'll wait for that to be reported officially by the plate umpire. So Glenn, the junior from Zionsville, runs for Baugh, the senior from Fortville. She's in the lead spot at second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the inning. And Harwager, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a steal, will try to do some damage in the top of the 5th. 4 runs on 8 hits for Marian. They have no errors, and they've left 5 on. Goshen has no runs on 3 hits and a single error. They, too, have left 5 on base. Pitches a strike on the outside corner. Cummings is ready for the 0-1 pitch, which was low to start with, and then I believe Catullus dropped it, which didn't help matters. 1 ball and 1 strike. After Harwager would be Landis and then Horan. And I can't tell you if there are pinch hitters because the sweatshirts don't have numbers on. If I tell you that Elton John is batting, that's a pretty good clue that we have no idea who it is. The 1-1 is up high. Ball 2. So after a smidgen of confusion about the count, we're set at 2 balls and a strike. And Cummings' 106th pitch of the day is offered at for strike 2. This game has crossed the 90-minute mark as we work through the top half of the 5th. And in the bright sunshine, Cummings delivers a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Harwager goes down on strikes for the second time today, and that'll bring up Lauren Landis, who's the left fielder. Landis has popped out to second and grounded out to second. If she lines out to second, she completes the trifecta. Here's the first pitch from Cummings. It is low and away, ball 1, as the runners again do that thing where they get off the base as the pitch is thrown and then have to go back as the pitch is caught. So a ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and hacked on the ground to short. Into field it is White, and the throw goes to first, where they get Landis by a step and a half. So the Knights do not score in the top half of the 5th. They leave a pair of runners after a hit and a walk. And we go to the bottom of the inning with the Knights 4 and the Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. Catherine Boyer will lead off an inning for the second time today. She grounded out to the pitcher in the third. We'll look for a better start to the bottom of the fifth and a 4-0 deficit for the Maple Leafs of Goshen College against the fourth-rated Knights of Marian University this afternoon from the John Ingold Athletic Complex at GC. Here's the first pitch on the way from Heron. It's lined out into right field. Coming in to make the catch is Hoffman, but some of the best contact we've seen today from the Maple Leafs ends, unfortunately, in the glove of the right fielder. And the lineup's going to flip over as Edith Vega comes to the plate. We're in the fifth, so barring a run roll situation, basically everybody in the lineup guaranteed one more time at bat as we get through the seventh inning, where I guess barring Goshen coming back to win. But if that happens, they would need at least 5 runs to win this game, so you'd get some bonus plate appearances there. First pitch to Vega is a strike at the letters. No balls and a strike. We are, as Heron's 82 pitches into her outing, here with 1 out in the fifth. Rihanna Catellis will follow Vega. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's inside. She turned out of the way, and I think some of the fans wanted her to have been hit by that pitch, but she wasn't. 1-1. Here's the third pitch of the at-bat. Bunted foul and fielded in the right-handed batter's box, or what is left thereof. 1-2 the count. Ball and 2 strikes. And the fourth pitch of the at-bat from Heron is swung on and grounded into the hole at short. Moving to her right to field it is Harwager, and she gets Vega by 2 steps at first as the inning is, 2/3 of the way over. Rihanna Catellis, the catcher, comes to the plate. She's made decent contact both of her first 2 times up. She grounded out to third in the first inning and flied out to right in the third. All of our scoring so far in the first 2 innings. Marian put up 1 in the first and 3 in the second. They've got 8 hits so far, and I think 6 of those came in the first 2 innings as well. But Cummings settled down pretty substantially over the past 3 frames. First pitch on the way to Catellis is a ball inside. Now Heron on the rubber with her right foot and will come home with her right hand. Pitch is grounded off the plate over to short, where it's taken by Harwager. Throw over to first gets Catellis, and the inning is over. So Goshen goes 3 up, 3 down in the fifth, and we go to the sixth. It's Marian 4, Goshen nothing on Go Leafs Live. Lainey Horan will lead things off, followed by Olivia Hoffman and Cassidy Cadle. Here in the top half of inning number 6 from the John Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College, the Knights with a 4-0 lead. 2 innings to go in each team's Crossroads League opener. By the end of the week, weather permitting, all 10 conference teams will have played 6 of their 36 games, and it looks like the weather will permit, at least for the Maple Leafs. There's some rain in the forecast, I think, tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday look fairly good, as well as Saturday, but the team will be out in Ohio taking on Mount Vernon Nazarene. Swing and a miss puts Horan down a strike. She shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball low and away there as the count runs to 1-1. Cummings with 111 pitches thus far. She was at 109 when the inning started. And there's action in the Marian bullpen, but I can't see the Goshen bullpen from here to tell you if there's action in it. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and chopped foul toward the Goshen dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. Again, after Horan, it's Hoffman and Cadle guaranteed to have their spots come up here in the top half of inning number 6. She takes ball 2 outside, and it's 2-2. But 2 days off for these teams before back-to-back games this weekend. And then 2 days off before next Tuesday comes and Goshen hosts Grace. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way, just missed inside. Count is full on Horan, and a few of the folks behind the plate seeing that with their hearts rather than with their eyes. So Cummings, who's been up 0-1 and 1-2 in the at-bat, misses low and away with the payoff pitch, and the Knights have a runner on. I'll bring Olivia Hoffman to the plate. She struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and singled to right in her first 3 plate appearances. This one's the 4th as we play the top of the 6th. And the first pitch from Cummings is up high for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Bunted foul, and like it caught Catellis in the leg. 1-1 now, the count. Force play in order at second with the right fielder at the plate. Just the 1 runner on, nobody out in the top of the inning. Here's the 1-1, a bunt on the way back to the pitcher. Cummings has to spin because she's left-handed and makes the throw to first, where Rodriguez is covering for the first out of the inning. So it's a sacrifice 1-3, and Cassidy Cadle will come to the plate with 1 out in the inning. For Goshen, it'll be Cummings, Rodriguez, and Vega due up in the bottom of the 6th with time running out in a 4-run ball game. First pitch to Cadle is swung on and hit into right field. Backing up is Boyer. She'll haul it in 3 steps shy of the track. Tagging and going to third is Horan as Rodriguez gets down on her belly like a goalkeeper and makes a diving stop. 2 outs in the inning. Now Shelby Stotts is coming up for the Knights. The catcher is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a strikeout looking back in the 4th. This is the 6th. Cummings is ready, and her 120th pitch of the game is a ball. Stotts immediately calls for time. Now the 1-0 pitch coming in a matter of moments is on the way, and a ball. If Stotts reaches, Hoyt would follow. When game 1 finishes, game 2 will follow. And here's the 2-0. Strike at the knees. Two balls and strike with the runner on third. The 2-1 pitch is up high, and the count is 3-1. Cummings has the sign. Now she's set. Now she comes home with the fifth pitch of the at-bat. It's ball 4 inside, and Stotts heads to first.
Now batting for Marian, number 20, Izzy Hoyt.
So Izzy Hoyt will come to the plate for the Knights. Right-handed batter facing left-handed pitcher. And here's the pitch. Swung on, hit back up the middle. It caught Cummings, I think, in the right foot. And everybody's going to move up 60 feet. Rodriguez ended up fielding the softball. Horan comes in to score. Stotts moves to second. And I think we're going to get time called to check on the pitcher. 5 runs on 9 hits for the Knights, and that one was smoked back up the middle. They've left 7 on. They've got 2 on with 2 out here in the 6th. I'm not sure what that handful that they handed to the coach on her way off the field was.
Some of the dirt. Where they dig it out at the front of the circle.
Oh, sure. So Coach Plesbert goes out to check on her pitcher and returns with a handful of dirt. I don't know. That amuses me, and these things tend to amuse very few of the rest of the population. But if you are one of those few, there you have it. The first pitch to Sadie Baugh is a strike at the letters. Baugh is 0 for 1. She walked and been hit by a pitch after hitting into a fielder's choice in the first inning. That one was also smoked back up the middle, and Cummings would probably prefer not to have to field her position after that last grounder hit her in the instep. The 0-1 hits Baugh in the arm as she ducked out over the plate, and the bases are loaded.
Now batting for Marian, number 16, Katie Hewitt.
And that'll bring Katie Hewitt to the plate. Yeah. The Knights scored a run on the ground ball back to the pitcher as Cummings kept the ball in front of her, but was unable to get an out. And the first pitch to Hewitt is up high, ball 1. Hewitt's 1 for 3. She's struck out. She's got both flavors of strikeout, swinging and looking, and she's singled to left field. The Knights are working on their 4th time through the lineup. Goshen's working on its 3rd, and Hewitt grounds that one to third. It is taken to the bag by Landry for the fielder's choice, and the inning is over. So 1 run in the 6th for Marian as Hoyt is forced out third unassisted. It's 1 run on 1 hit, and Knights leave the maximum. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Marian 5, Goshen nothing on Go Leafs Live. It'll be Cummings, Rodriguez, and Vega as we start the bottom of the sixth for the Goshen College softball team, which is facing a 5-0 deficit in its quest to upset fourth-ranked Marian University in the first game of the Crossroads League season. Cummings is 0-1 with a walk. She struck out looking in the first, drew 4 balls in her plate appearance in the third. Now she comes up here in the sixth, trying to, she could start a 5-run rally, but all she really needs to do is get on base and let some other folks do the work. Because you can't have a 5-run rally with one swing of the bat, especially not leading off the inning. She swings and fouls one up into the general direction of the press box. That's why they put a net in front of us. And it's no balls and a strike. Yeah. It's no balls and a strike to the left-handed hitting pitcher. Cummings came in at 491. That will go down a little bit with the hitless at bat. She takes a strike there, and it's 0-2. Third pitch of the at-bat is on the way from Heron. Her 90th pitch of the day is a half-hearted swing and a miss for strike 3. So there's one down, and Sandy Rodriguez comes to the plate. Rodriguez 0 for 2. She's grounded out to second both times up so far. And the first pitch to Rodriguez is low for ball 1. After Rodriguez, it'll be Mackenzie Vega and Jessica Bachtel as she takes a strike at the letters, and it's 1-1. One of the things we talked about with baseball on Saturday, but it's just going to be truer as we get later into the evening here at softball, is you don't want to leave the decision making to a cold umpire, and particularly a cold umpire that's just taken a foul tip off some portion of his anatomy. So what I'm thinking is it's 5 o'clock. The sun's not getting any higher in the sky as we move on here. It's 4:57 technically. 1-2 the count on Rodriguez. And the 1-2 on the way is low for ball 2. That one didn't leave a whole lot of doubt, but I have never met an umpire that isn't looking forward to when they get home after the game ends. Noticing that I've got 2-2 and the scoreboard has 3-1. That's a ground ball back up the middle. It's taken by Harweger, rendering the count irrelevant, and Rodriguez is retired for the second out of the inning.
Now batting for Goshen, number 10, Mackenzie Vega.
That'll bring Vega up to the plate. The designated player from Nevada is 0 for 2 with a ground out to first and a pop out to second. She's taken it the other way twice. Here's the first pitch to Vega. It's outside for ball number 1. Heron 4 pitches away from the century mark, as she's gone the distance so far. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat. That, too, is a ball. The Maple Leafs with 3 hits through 5 2/3 innings, 1 of them from Edith Vega, 2 of them from Stacy Landry, who is in the hole right now. They've also got a couple of walks, 1 to Vega and 1 to Cummings, and that's been the offense thus far. Counting for 5 left on base. Vega swings and fouls one off her left foot, and it's 2 balls and a strike. We take a second as Vega tries to get some feeling back in that foot. The comment the umpire made to her is, that hurts even in hot weather, but the blood flow is a little bit constricted today, and that doesn't help anything anywhere in the process. 2 balls and a strike. And Heron spins the ball in her right hand. The 2-1 pitch on the way. That's a strike. And it's 2-2. We roll across the 5 o'clock hour here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex. And here's the 2-2 from Heron. That one's low ball 3 as the count runs full. Vega ready in the right-handed batter's box. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on, lined out into left field. That's going to hit the wall on one bounce. She's around first and into second with a stand-up double. Goshen's first extra base hit of the day. So Vega's on with the double, and Bachtel, the second baseman, will follow her as time is called, and we're going to see Bachtel's at the plate, so it looks like a pinch runner. The flex player running for the designated player.
Now pinch running for Vega. Number 32, Allison White.
We always get hits with 2 outs.
So White's now the runner on second base. And there are 2 outs in the inning for Bachtel, who's 0 for 2. She's hit the ball on the ground both times thus far. She's grounded out to short and grounded out to first. Now, really, the best thing she can do here is keep the inning alive, maybe score a run, and bring Landry to the plate. 1-0 the count. The second pitch of the at-bat on the way from Heron. Swung on, fouled off the catcher, and it's 1-1. 1-1 the count. After Bachtel, again, it would be Landry, Espinoza, and Boyer. The 1-1 pitch on the way. That's up way high in ball 2. There's action in the night bullpen, but I think that's mostly for game 2, as the 2-1 pitch is up high for ball 3. White doing a good job of getting her lead off the base to the point that the Knights are considering throwing back across the diamond behind her, but Bachtel now way ahead in the count. And we'll see where this goes. The 106th delivery of the game from Heron is on the way and up high ball 4. Bachtel is on with the free pass. And we're going to have time called as the Knights are going to head out to the mound.
Now batting for Goshen, number 9, Stacy Landry.
Landry comes to the plate here with 2 away. She's 2 for 2 today, singled through the hole at second and into right center. She's got 2 of the team's 4 hits. First pitch on the way from Heron is a strike. Here's the 0-1. Up high ball 1. Landry again a 256 hitter this year. She's now 13 for 45, which is going to have means that's gone up a little bit from her batting average going into the game. Faces a 1-1 count here with runners on first and second. The third pitch of the at-bat is off the inside corner, ball 2. Espinoza would follow her. And then Boyer. Perrin spins that ball around in her right hand, comes home with the 2-1 pitch, swung on, dribbled foul over in front of the Goshen dugout. 2-2 the count. Right-handed batter facing right-handed pitcher, and the 2-2 on the way, swung on and fouled back. Aaron's ready. It's the 6th pitch of this at-bat. It is a strike called on the outside corner, and the Maple Leafs leave a pair on base. So Landry is retired for the first time today, and Goshen doesn't score in the 6th. We go to the 7th. It's Knights 5, Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. We are back at the John Ingold Athletic Complex, where the Goshen College Maple Leafs go to the bullpen for the 7th inning. Emily Cummings out after 6 innings, 5 runs on 9 hits, and 7 strikeouts. It's Raina Moraga in to do the pitching. Moraga, a junior from San Diego, California, and Hilltop High School, wearing uniform number 12 as she warms up with Rihanna Catellis here leading into the top half of the 7th inning. Moraga is making her 3rd relief appearance and her 6th appearance overall this season. 0-3 is her record. She's got a 6.30 earned run average in 13 1/3 innings. 22 runs on 24 hits, but only 12 of those 24 runs have been earned. She's walked 14 batters and struck out 3, allowing opponents to hit 364 off of her. She will start things off by facing Savannah Harwager, who leads off from the shortstop spot. We've got a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle that we'll deal with in a moment. Harwager's 0 for 2 against Cummings. She's walked and struck out swinging, and then struck out swinging again. First pitch from the right-hander Moraga is on the way, and it's a ball. It's a switch in pitcher handedness from the left-hander Cummings to the right-hander Moraga for the Maple Leafs. Now the second pitch of the at-bat is on the way and in the dirt for ball 2. The run rule is irrelevant at this point because after 7 innings, the run rule is like 1. You know, you just have to be ahead. You can't end the game early anymore. But Marian would be 3 runs from triggering that. It's an 8-run rule in college as opposed to a 10-run rule in high school. As the 2-0 to Harwegger is outside ball 3. For Goshen, it'll be Espinoza, Boyer, and Vega in the bottom of the inning, and then they hope Catellis and the pitcher spot would come back up. As if you're going to come back from a 5-run deficit, you got to have at least 5 batters come to the plate. And in fact, you'd want to have a 6th followed. As Harwegger shows bunt and pulls back for strike 1. Shadow of the press box, you can see it starting to just creep across the infield dirt. It's not quite to the foul line on the third base side, but it's, 2/3 of the way from the grass line to the foul line. The 3-1 grounded back up the middle. It's backhanded by Moraga, and she makes the throw to first for the first out of the inning. And there's 1 away.
Now batting for Marian, number 7, Caitlin Phillips.
Caitlin Phillips steps into the batter's box for the first time today. That's the pinch hitter we warned you about. The pinch hitter about whom we warned you, I guess, if you're being anal retentive about the preposition at the end of my sentence. Left-handed hitter from Crown Point, Indiana, and Crown Point High School. She went from being a bulldog to being a knight, and she takes the first pitch low and away. Pinch hitter facing relief pitcher. Yep, it's the 7th inning. As far as we know, Horan still on track to bat back in her regular spot after Phillips. The 1-0 pitch is low and away for ball 2. We'll be lucky to start game 2 much before 5:45, which could bring some things into play with the sun dipping below the horizon toward the end of game 2. The 2-0 on the way is low for ball number 3. Of 8 pitches from Moraga so far, 6 of them have been balls. Now here's the 3-0. It's up high, ball 4. So Phillips is on with a walk. Horn will follow her.
Now batting for Marian, number 23.
And there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Again, Marian out hitting Goshen 9-4. The lone error of the game went to the Maple Leafs, and the teams have combined to leave 17 runners on base. 4 Goshen walks, 4 walks drawn by Marian. Let's do it that way. 3 drawn by the Maple Leafs. And Horan steps into the left-handed batter's box. The center fielder faces the reliever Moraga and takes a strike at the letters. Or really where the letters would usually be. The Marian softball riding across the top of the sweatshirts is a little bit larger than your usual jersey lettering. The 0-1 pitch is on the way. Missed outside. And the count's 1-1. Horan singled, been thrown out at first on a bunt, and walked in 3 plate appearances so far. Moraga's ready in the right-handed delivery. Here's a strike on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. She's come around to score twice. Both times she's been on base. And now she awaits the 1-2 delivery, trying to keep the inning alive. Slaps it over to the right side, and Moraga shovels it to Catellis to Rodriguez for the second out of the inning. Phillips takes second. Hoffman is up.
Now batting for Marian, number 15, Olivia Hoffman.
and Hoffman's 1 for 3. She's struck out looking, hit into a fielder's choice, singled and sacrificed bunted. Something I don't say a whole lot in softball is this is the 5th time through the Marian order. She hits the first pitch of the at-bat to White, who makes the toss to Rodriguez across the diamond, and the inning is over. Marian gets no runs on no hits, but leaves 1, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. Leafs need 5 to tie and 6 to win on Go Leafs Live. It's Emma Maple into the game to pitch for Marian as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Heron is out after 4 hits and 6 innings. She walked 3 and struck out 3, and she's pitching a shutout so far, but she will not get the complete game as Maple takes the circle. Maple is is a sophomore from Wheatfield, Indiana, and Kankakee Valley High School over in, I want to say, Jasper County, Indiana. She is making her 9th appearance of the season, her 7th in relief. She has 1 complete game in a starting role and 2 appearances in a complete game. 19 innings so far, which is the second most on the Marian staff coming into the day. She's given up 6 runs, 8 hits, and 27 strikeouts, leading the team in the latter category, allowing opponents to hit 174 off of her. Lowest opponent batting average on the team, but highest ERA. Of course, that highest is 2.21. Cassandra Espinoza will lead things off for the Maple Leafs. She will be followed by Catherine Boyer and Edith Vega. So there are 2 Vegas in the Maple Leaf lineup. Espinoza, the right-handed batter, facing Maple, the right-handed thrower. And here's the first pitch. Strike over the inside part of the plate. Espinoza's 0 for 2. She's grounded out to short and flied out to left. And here's the second pitch on the way from Maple. It is low for ball 1. Again, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 11 left on base for Marian. No runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on for Goshen. The Maple Leafs looking for their first conference win of the season, as the first thing the 1-1 pitch hit was the backstop. The umpire pronounces it just a little high. Shades of Harry Doyle in Major League. 2-1 the count. Now the pitch to Espinoza is a little low. That one was actually a little low. If it was as low as the previous pitch had been high, use your imagination. Now the 3-1 on the way to Espinoza, swung on and fouled back over the screen. Out of play as the count runs full. Maple Leafs need 5 to tie and 6 to win, like I said a moment ago, but the reality is the most any one batter can do is get on base or maybe even drive themselves in with a home run. And there's Espinoza drawing a leadoff walk as Catherine Boyer, the right fielder, will step to the plate. Boyer's shown some pop in her first 2 seasons in purple and white. She's hitting in the 9-hole today, grounded out to the pitcher and lined out to right, and has not had an exceptional start to her senior season. Right-handed batter will face right-handed pitcher from what I'm going to assume is supposed to be the right-handed batter's box. You can sort of see a little bit of the back corner of it as Boyer takes a strike. 0-1 the count. after her, the lineup's going to flip over. Vega's guaranteed a spot hit in the inning. Catellus will bat if the inning stays alive that far, as Boyer takes strike 2. Time is called, and she's going to head down and converse with Coach Plesbert in the third base coach's box. Oh, hey, there's paint on this press box window, too. It's true. Of both of the windows I get to sit by on the first base side at baseball and the third base side at softball. And 0-2 is the count to Boyer. Maple's thrown 8 pitches so far, evenly divided between balls and strikes. And once the plate umpire puts his mask on, we'll be ready for the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and dribbled up the first base line. It's a fair ball, and Boyer's out at first, catcher to first baseman. A good job to avoid running into her own batted ball there, but she's out by a step and a half at first as Vega comes to the plate for the Maple Leafs. Vega's 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 stolen bases. She walked to lead off the bottom of the first, singled to left in the third, grounded out to short in the fifth, and takes ball 1 here. The throwback behind Espinosa, short hops in. If Vega keeps the inning alive, it would be Catellus, and then I presume Cummings would re-enter for Moraga. But that's all predicting the future at this point. Here's the second pitch to Vega on the way, and outside ball 2. Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way. Strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. As Vega, the left-handed batter, swings and misses at strike 2. With the lead that Espinosa is getting, I'm thinking a single in the outfield is probably enough to score a run, although they may hold her at third rather than risk making the out on the base paths as the 2-2 pitch gets fouled over toward the streaming camera out of play. This will be Maple's 15th pitch and third of an inning and change. Now here's the 2-2 pitch. They're going to say it's low and outside, and they're going to check with the base umpire. She did not go around. That was the same call that I had from up here, but nobody asks me what I think. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming to Vega. It's up high for ball 4. It was not a save situation when Maple entered the ball game. It was a 5-run lead. Goshen is 1 batter away from bringing the tying run into the on-deck circle, which is the situation that would trigger the stipulation that triggers a save situation in this case. Catella steps into the right-handed batter's box. She's 0 for 3, grounded out to third, flied out to right, and grounded out to short. Takes a strike across the letters, and the count's no balls and a strike. Catellus again from Wixom, Michigan and Lakeland High School. Awaits the 0-1 pitch, puts good, it's not lumber anymore, it's composite, and fouls it off into the screen. 0-2 the count. If Catellus keeps the line moving, Moraga's spot in the order would come up as the pitch is foul tipped back into the glove of Stotts. It goes as a swinging strikeout, and Moraga's going to hit for herself. this season. Moraga is making her 7th appearance, but her first plate appearance. First pitch she sees is a ball as the count runs to 1-0. Now the second pitch is outside, and it's actually dropped by Stotts. 2-0, the count to Moraga. Corner infielders are in, the middle infielders are back, and the 2-1 is a strike on the outside. The 2-0, I should say, is a strike on the outside corner to make it 2-1. And now the fourth pitch of the at-bat coming. It's swung on and grounded in the hole. It's short. The throw across the diamond is in time. It sure looked from up here like Hewitt pulled her foot, but the out call is going to stand. Is probably going to stand. They're saying that the call was made by the base umpire, who, from his position in the hole at deep short, does not have a very good angle to decide if the runner pulled her foot at first base. So Coach Julia Claire Plesbert is going to come discuss with the base umpire, who will come in and have a conversation with the plate umpire. But I can't imagine that this call is going to get reversed, even though I think it ought to be. So the ruling on the field is a ground out to shortstop, and the ball game is over. The Maple Leafs go down on no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 9 left on base. Marian finishes with 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 11 left on. We'll be back for Game 2 in about half an hour. Look for that first pitch coming up at about 5:55. But Game 1 ends in defeat for the Maple Leafs by the final of 5-0. Stacy Landry on the Goshen side with 2 hits. Cassidy Cadle, Shelby Stotts, and Issy Hoyt on the Marian side all have 2 hits. And we'll do it again in about half an hour. You're listening to Crossroads League Softball on Go Leafs Live.